I always tell ladies, see, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money when it comes to your skincare products. I will drink water and mind my business.
Hello everyone, my name is Lanre, your trusted Ielts tutor, and this is the Ielts multi-step program. We have another video here that we're going to be reviewing today, and this is a video by Kylie. Kylie happens to be a very expressive young lady who was able to actually do justice to the Ielts. Unfortunately, she didn't have any prior, tips or strategies to use, and she didn't attend our multi-step program. So she just did it, she just winged it. And let's see how it flows when you just wing it with just your own natural knowledge of language.
Good afternoon and welcome to the IELTS speaking test. My name is
afternoon.
Lanre. I'll be your examiner for today with candidate number 442. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Kylie Bernard.
Right. Is that Kylie or Kylie?
Kylie.
Kylie. Welcome, Kylie.
Thank you very much.
Can you describe one of the rooms in your house?
One of the rooms in my house I'll consider to be very spacious, which is my room. It's very comfortable and very relaxing.
Great. Could you go on?
In my room, I have a private bathroom that has a bathtub, a sink. It's really spacious, really airy, has lots and lots of windows.
I like the airy part. Do you prefer to live in a big house or a small one?
I would prefer to live in a big house because currently I live in a very spacious house, big enough.
Great. Now, what are some of the disadvantages of living in a big house?
Some of the disadvantages I would say is, from the family that I come from, we are not many, we're just three. That's my mom, my older brother, and I. My older brother moved out about 5 years ago, so it's just my mom and I. So it's a lot of distance in the house. When she's trying to reach out to me sometimes, I may not hear. And in situations whereby she travels, because she travels a lot, it gets quite lonely. Yeah.
I see. Now, what is the most popular form of entertainment in your country? I
would say music. Nigeria is well known for its Afrobeat genre, and we're doing really well right now all over the world. We've gone completely global. The likes of Wizkid, Burna Boy have taken Afrobeat to another level completely.
Do people in your country usually prefer to go out or stay at home in the evenings?
I would consider a lot of Nigerians, Lagosians as outsiders. We all like to go out to have fun, to distract ourselves from our problems sometimes.
I see. Now, why do you think that successful entertainers are often paid so much?
I would say that because of their talents, yes. Because of their talents, they tend to be paid a lot of money. I would use this person as an example. Again, Wizkid. He's doing so well in the music industry. He has gone international. He was nominated for a Grammy Award. Unfortunately, he didn't win, but he's doing so well for himself.
Great. Now, how popular is watching sports in your country as a form of entertainment?
It's widely popular. A lot of Nigerians love football. There's so many teams that Nigerians religiously follow, and they're doing pretty well at it, I would say.
Now, what is life like for a teenager in your country?
Life as a teenager, I'll use myself as an example. Growing up for me wasn't the easiest, right? I was raised by a single mom, though from a very comfortable family, but it wasn't the same, knowing that you don't have your father figure in the home, right? So it wasn't quite the same, having to, sort things out myself, figure things out myself, yeah.
What are some of the challenges that teenagers face today?
Some of the challenges, I would say, teenagers of nowadays, I think they call them the Gen Z. They don't have as much, I would say, they don't have as much strictness as we had growing up. It's not a lot of holds that they have on them right now. I would say they have lots more freedom. Yes.
Great. Do you think teenagers should be allowed to drive?
Yes, I do. If you get to the age of 18 years old, you should be able to learn how to drive. I think teenagers from that age group upwards should be encouraged to drive, yes.
What are parents' attitudes to boyfriends and girlfriends for teenagers in your country?
I would say that their parents frown at it. Generally speaking, from my perspective as well, they frown at it. we live in a Nigerian, in an African society where relationships from a young age isn't really encouraged. And I actually do support that, because as a teenager, you might feel you understand what emotions are, you know what relationship might be, but you don't have a full glimpse of that until you grow older.
I agree with you. So now we're going to move to the second part of the test, which is the part 2. It's called the long turn. Here, I'll be giving you a cue card that contains a couple of questions and prompts. You have 1 minute to prepare what you're going to say. And after that, you're expected to give a response that should last between 1 minute to 2 minutes. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Great. So here's your...
So while Kylie is preparing for our speaking part 2, I'd like to just quickly run through what she did in part 1. For the part 1, the most important thing that I noticed was that her task response wasn't top notch. For the questions that she was asked, even though she later got around to answering the questions, she didn't start with answering the questions. So there's a format that we have: direct answer first, explanation after. What she was doing was mostly explaining things before she got around to answering the questions, and that definitely affects the quality of her response. I also noticed that in her responses, there were some intermittent pauses that affected her fluency, because she was either searching for the ideas or searching for the words that she was going to use. I sincerely hope that this does not affect her overall performance later on in the test.
Question, and you already have a pen and a paper in front of you to jot down your ideas. Your time for brainstorming starts now.
Okay. Good.
Right. So you're ready?
Yes, I am.
Great. So I'm just going to read out the question one more time so that we're all clear. Describe something you have bought recently. You should say what it is, where you bought it, what it looks like, and explain why you needed to buy this thing. Please start now.
All right. So I bought this item at a supermarket. It may sound a little bit funny, but I've been meaning to get this particular item. It's actually a water bottle. I was drawn to the shape. It doesn't look like the regular water bottle. It looks very sophisticated. It's red in color. And for me, I love to stay hydrated constantly while at work. So usually I have this very big, gigantic water bottle I use at work, and it can be quite uncomfortable because I may not be able to like finish the whole water in it at a go. But you know, having to have gotten this red water bottle, I can easily measure what I drink, and I can drink more water while at work. I just got so stunned by it. And when I got home and I was showing this to my mom, I'm like, Mommy, of all the things that I bought at the supermarket today, you won't believe that it was this red water bottle, and it just cost me 1,000 naira that I was able to purchase at the supermarket. She's like, really? Of all the expensive things that she got, is this only item that you find very intriguing? I'm like, yes, Mommy. I will drink water and mind my business.
Oh, nice. Great. Please go on.
Okay. I would also like to say that water is very, very good for the body, and I always tell ladies, see, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money when it comes to your skincare products. If you are able to drink a lot of water, all your blemishes, the pimples that you have on your face will just magically vanish because you hydrate yourself constantly. And having to wake up in the morning or while I'm at work trying to get ahead of the day and everything, gulping down a whole flask of water just keeps me going. It keeps me very much hydrated.
I totally agree with you. Right, so let's move on. I like the fact that you talked about this item with so much passion. So let's talk about luxury items.
Okay.
What luxury item would you choose if you could have any one thing?
Jewelry, I would say. I really love jewelry, especially gold and what's the other one called again? Platinum. They're really good investment, items. If you get a gold jewelry, original is what I'm talking about, of course, something you can invest in. In the next 5 years, it appreciates. Yeah.
Do you think that luxury possessions bring happiness?
To an extent, I'll say yes. Let me be a bit controversial with my answer. If I get an item today, I invest in a gold item that has a lot of value, and I say, this gold I want to invest today, I'm going to put it aside for my future kids, knowing that that money, when it appreciates, I'm able to get it in the future. knowing that it's going to benefit my kids, is definitely going to bring me happiness. So yes.
Should luxury items be taxed at a higher rate?
Yes, I would say it should be taxed at a higher rate because they are luxury items, but decently, not too much, so the profit on it doesn't, get zapped away.
How have the lives of rich people changed over the last 30 years?
I would say very drastically, because we live in a country where Nigeria, as we know, our economy is always up and down. Dollar rate has completely skyrocketed, and a normal person that probably, I'm not talking about the likes of the Dangotes and the other very, very rich people we have here in the country. I'm talking about those that are, wealthy. They're doing fine for themselves. But if you check them out, if you had gone to, make your investigation in like 5, 6 years, 10 years ago, the money they had then, I would say you can't compare it to what they have now. So it's not just affecting the poor people, it's affecting rich people as well.
Where is your country's food mainly produced?
Mainly produced, I would say all around the country. In different states, in different areas in Nigeria, different foods and vegetables are produced, differently.
Now, do you believe that the world should use genetically modified food?
No, I don't agree with that because it's not very healthy. Food that is not planted, from the roots, that is not healthy, can have people having cancer, dying at a young age, high blood pressure, and other diseases that I probably cannot mention their names.
How can we reduce the amount of food wasted today?
I would say we can't really get a hang of that, unfortunately, because of the type of country that we live in. This is Nigeria. If you go to the general refuse dump, you see a lot of items that can easily be recycled, but we don't have the proper infrastructure and the resources to put that in. If you tell a Nigerian, a typical Nigerian, not to cross the express, take the pedestrian bridge, you still catch them crossing the express and people getting into terrible accidents. So you can't really get a glimpse of that because we don't have enough laws. We don't have very strict laws that people are, supposed to abide to.
Thank you very much, Kylie, for that very interesting conversation.
You're welcome.
I really had a nice time. And I
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kylie, roughly a 7.5 score. Why 7.5? While Kylie spoke quite well, while Kylie sounded quite well, pronunciation was top notch. Our lexical resource could be a little bit adjusted to move up because I felt she was using a lot of informal words. I also feel that task response was the main area where she had problems. She wasn't actually answering the questions directly. She was more of just dancing around the questions in a lot of places, and that would definitely affect your overall performance in the IELTS. It's something that you need to be very careful about. I drastically skyrocketed, controversial. So yes, she did quite well in terms of vocabulary, although I felt that she could have reduced the amount of that she had in her response. And then she said get a glimpse when she was supposed to say get a hold of it or get a true picture of it. So in there you would see that she was using words that were accurate, but they were not effective. They were not conveying exactly what she meant to say. So I would give her a 7.5 for Kylie, and I hope that the next time that Kylie attempts this, she's definitely going to do a lot better. Thank you everyone for joining us for today's session, and I hope that you would have gained 1 or 2 things that would help you in your journey to IELTS success.